Welcome to the video lesson on surface area working backwards. Working backwards is any problem where you're given a surface area or a lateral area, some sort of area, and you have to work backwards to find a missing value. So I'll show you how to do that. Example 1 says find the height of this cylinder, and it's given us the total area. So I had said that it could be a problem where you're given lateral area, base area, total area, surface area, which means the same as total area. How do you know which one to use and which formula to start with? Well, it depends on what's given. In this case, because it's given us the total surface area or the total area, I'm going to start with the formula for total area of a cylinder. So same as I normally would, I'll start with the correct formula. Here I've just written down the stuff that I know, but I'll start with the formula, which for a cylinder is AT, total area, is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh, and I'll plug in everything that I know. In this case, I know the number on this side, the total area is 628. I know that the radius is 4. That goes here as well. And the h is the unknown. I can leave it as h or I can leave it as x, depending on your preference. So here I'd plug in 4 for the radius. 4 for the radius, I'd plug in the 628. Now what I can do is simplify as best I can. So I can multiply 2 times pi times 4 squared. And here I can multiply 2 and 4. So whenever I have something like this that has a variable in it, or which has a pi in it, I can multiply together the numbers and keep the variable. So here, I multiplied through, I did 2 times 4 squared, that's 32. I left the pi for now. And 2 times 4 is 8, left the pi, and the x stays as well. Because this number is a number and not something with pi in it, means that I need to multiply this out. So I did. I multiplied 32 times pi to get a number. 8 times pi is a number, and I left x. Now, one thing that people tend to do, which is incorrect, is to try to add these two together. Make it 125 point whatever x, and that's not correct. I can't add these two because this one has an x and this one doesn't. They're not like terms. If I want to isolate the x, I need to bring this to the other side. I have to subtract 100 from both sides. So I can bring this over, group these together. These are like terms. When I do, that becomes 527.47. That's equal to 25.13x. And now to solve for x, I divide both sides by 25.13. It turns out that x is 20.99. Keep 2 decimal places. And that's the answer. The height of the cylinder is 20.99 centimeters. It's just centimeters and not centimeters squared, because it's just a regular height. Example 2 says find the missing value of the prism below. Again, because it's given me the total area, I'm going to start with the formula for total area. It's 2ab plus perimeter base times height, and I know that the total area is 163. I'll plug in everything that I know. My area of the base is going to be this unknown times 4. So when I plug that in, it's going to be 2 times, area of base is 4 times x. My perimeter of the base is x plus 4 plus x plus 4, or 2x plus 2 times 4. X here and here, 2 of them, and a 4 here and here, 2 of them, times the height of the prism is 11. So, like the previous one, I can now group together. So this 2 and 4 I can multiply. And in this case, over here, I'd get 2x plus 8 times 11. I have to distribute that 11. I have to multiply 11 times 2x, that's where I get the 22x, and 11 times 8, that's where I get the 88. Now these two, 8x and 22x, I can group together. They're both x terms. And this 88 I have to bring to the other side. Simplify this a little bit. And now to get x, I divide both sides by 30. X works out to be 2.5 meters, which seems pretty reasonable. There are a couple more things that I want to show you, specific types of problems. If you're given the total area of a sphere, you only need area. There's no other measurements you need because the total area formula just has one other unknown in it, just that r. So what I would do here is multiply 4 and pi and divide, or divide by 4 pi. If you're going to do that in your calculator, make sure to put brackets around it. And you have to do that division before you can take the square root. So I'll simplify that. I'll divide it. That's 181.37 divided by brackets, 4 pi, close brackets. And now once I get to this stage, I just take the square root. The square root of that works out to be 3.8. because this was in millimeters squared, means that my measurement is in millimeters, and that is the radius of the sphere. Okay, there are 2 examples left. I chose this one because this problem gives you the lateral area as opposed to the total surface area. And if a problem gives you the lateral area, then start with the formula for lateral area. Because this is a prism, it's that tricky shape that some of you maybe thought was a different shape than it was on the quiz. I'll start with the formula for lateral area of a prism, perimeter base times height. I'll plug in everything that I know. I know that that's the lateral area. The perimeter of the base is 35 plus x plus x. These 2 are the same. I know that because this and this are parallel. When I group that together, it becomes 35 plus 2x times 46. And this means that I need to expand. I have to distribute 35 times 46 and 2x times 46. So again, I cannot group these together. They are not like terms. I've got to bring the 1610 to the other side, subtract, and then I can divide both sides by 92. This works out to be 27. That's the missing value, 27 centimeters. Seems reasonable given the numbers in there. And actually, I said there was one more. There are actually 2 more examples, but this is a quick one. The total area of a cube is 864. Like the sphere, there's really only one unknown here because all the lengths, the length, the width, and the height of a cube are all the same. If I take the total area formula for a prism and I'll plug in, I'll call it x for the side length, my area of the base is going to be x times x. My perimeter of the base is x plus x plus x plus x, 4x, and the height is x. And when I simplify this, 2 times x, this part is x squared. It's 2x squared. And this part, 4 times x, is 4x squared. And these are like terms. They have the same variable and the same exponent. I can add those. They become 6x squared. To solve this, I need to divide first, just to get the x squared by itself, and then I can take the square root of both sides. That works out to be 12 centimeters. The fact that the total surface area of a cube is 6x squared, that's always going to be the case. So if you have a problem that asks you to find the side length or the height or the width of a cube and they've given you the total surface area, as a check, you should end up getting that number equal to 6x squared. And this is the final example that I want to show you because there's one like this on your assignment today. The side length of the hexagon, given the total area, we don't know the length. We do know the apothem. Apothem is this measurement here that goes from the center of one side to the center of the shape. So again, I'll start with the total surface area formula for a prism. I'll plug in everything that I know. Now this area base formula, I'll show you where that comes from. If you have your golden ticket, it shows here that a polygon with n sides has the formula n, the number of sides, times c, which this diagram shows is the side length, times a, that's the apothem, measurement that goes from the center of the side to the center of the polygon, divided by 2. That's the formula for area of base. So I have 6 sides. I did 6 times the side length, which I don't know, times the apothem, which is given, divided by 2. This whole thing is times 2 because there are 2 bases, plus perimeter of the base if all the side lengths are unknown. Now there's 6. It's a regular shape. That means all the side lengths are the same. Perimeter is 6 times x, and then the height of the prism is 9. If I multiply this through, 6 times 3.46 divided by 2 times 2, the 2's cancel. It works out to be 20.76x. And this one I can multiply the 6 times 9, that's 54x. These are like terms, they both have x's, so I can add them together. And then divide both sides by 74.76. It turns out that x is 4 centimeters. That is the side length. That's it. Good luck with your assignment.